Hi, good afternoon. Lovely to meet you all. Okay, my case study actually follows on really nicely from the worry box that was mentioned by Mrs. Rogers just now. So we had one of our main focuses on our action plan when we were being a United Against Bullying School was to raise the profile of pupil voice beyond having the school parliament, the playground friends, the big friends, little friends, all our prefects and house captains. So the anti-bullying pupil questionnaire showed us that our children they believed in the strong relationship they had with the teachers, but we felt that we were missing a link in the way that all the children were able to communicate, not just their worries, but all their emotions and experiences in an accessible, unconditional way. So regardless of how confident they were, that they had a way of having a voice for us to be able to access what was going on in their lives. And we also realised that the staff would benefit from this as well, that the staff needed a form of communication that didn't involve having to arrange a meeting or being brave enough to go and talk to somebody on the SLT. So our head teacher at one of his previous schools has had an I Wish My Teacher Knew box. And we suddenly decided that actually maybe this is what the missing link was and this is what we needed to do. So our desired outcome for the project was to have an I Wish My Teacher Knew box in every single classroom and I Wish My SLT Knew box in the staff room. For children and staff to have access to the system at all times, and for the class teacher and LSAs to check the boxes every single day to make sure that all the contributions were looked at and were dealt with, and that maybe a show and tell or a private conversation was instigated, maybe a book was read in story time or a circle time instigated to be able to deal with what was in the box. And most importantly for us, that any anti-bullying concerns were to be picked up early so that action could be taken and so that all parties could be supported immediately. So basically, our main aim was for the whole community to feel that they had a voice. So regardless of how confident they were or how good their writing was or you know, anything that was going on in their lives, we wanted to be part of it. And we wanted to be able to support them, to celebrate what was going on, but also to support them. So if you go onto my action taken slides, thank you. So in view of our aim to involve the whole pupils at every stage, the idea was put to the school parliament, who talked to their classes about what they needed and what would work for them. And our main challenge actually for the school parliament, for their classes and for us, was to make the slips that we would use user-friendly right the way from reception all the way to year 6. They had to be fit for purpose. We were aware from our questionnaire as well that our SEND children were feeling a little bit lost. And so following on from a discussion with our ELSA team and our draw and talk lead, it became very evident that maybe the zones of regulation was the way to go and that would be a way of enabling our SEND children to access this system as well in a familiar way, because the zones of regulation is something that they use with the ELSA team. So following on with discussions from the school parliament and the staff, we put together 2 slips and as you can see from the next slide, we were encouraging the children to use the slips, but we also wanted the children to know that a scrappy piece of paper was just as important. You can see we came up with the 2 slips. The infant one on the left is more of a tick box slip, whereas the one on the right is for the juniors, and that allows for them to write more, maybe draw a picture. And it also gives them the chance to alert the fact that they might want to talk to another member of staff, because we're very aware that although we really foster the relationships with the children in our class, they might want to speak to us. So we've got KIC team here who mentor the children. They might actually want to speak to somebody else who will be able to help them. All the children, both the children and the adults, were combined in the final slips, you know, all their ideas. And the school parliament then wrote and put together their own assembly, which they then led to all the staff and all the children to formally introduce the I Wish My Teacher Knew boxes, so that everybody in the whole community knew that this was something really important and that they were part of it. And then, of course, in the newsletter, on social media, it was also made available to the wider school community, because we really wanted it to be part of everybody's lives. So initially, as predicted, the boxes were filled to the brim with pictures and information about trips to Legoland. And of course, as always happens in Anti-Bullying Week as well, absolutely everybody was being bullied. But as the weeks passed and the pictures and the accusations decreased a little bit, although there were still plenty of exciting things shared in the boxes, we really started to find some serious information that we could support and we could work with. So in year 6, there was a girl who was really, really concerned about going to high school. And so we were able to pick that up. She was very shy. And finally, we felt we gave her a voice and a chance to share her concerns. In reception as well, we had a slip in there where a child had written their name and they ticked the angry box. So the reception teacher went and spoke to the child, and then we got the family in, and it transpired that something really important was happening at home. And so we were able to support the family. We logged it on CPOMs. It was part of the meetings with the DSL and the Senkos. And we are still able now to support the family. We've managed to give them books. We've given them contact information. And the child now regularly has ELSA sessions and goes to Chill Out Club. And we're very aware that had that child not had the opportunity, they're also EAL, to just pick the angry face on that sheet and put it in the box, then maybe we would have never have known what was going on at home and would not have been able to support the family the way we gratefully have been able to do. And in the staff room box as well, people have been brave enough to put things in there, and the SLT have listened, and we think we've been able to put a few things in place which has hopefully helped with the whole work-school balance that I know was really tough for lots of teachers. And on the next slide, you will see I've had permission from a year 4 child who put this into the box only last week. And you can see the time and the effort that has actually gone into that contribution, even the colour coding. And it just felt really humbling to know that somebody knew that if they put the time into telling us what was worrying them, that they knew we would take it seriously and we would follow it up and we would be there for them. I told my school parliament last week that I was going to share the I Wish My Teacher Knew boxes. And on the next slide, you will see some of the quotes they've come up with. And so all the way from year 6 to reception, it's just really humbling to know that all the children feel that this is a part of their classroom and it is a part of their school life, and it is a way of linking what's going on at home and at school. And we have a little boy who said, my teacher helped me with my mum because I put it in the box. And we did. He was brave enough to put something in the box, and we managed to speak to the mum about something that was really worrying him at home and something that was making him angry, and he was taking out his anger and his frustration on the children at school. So we're very grateful that we managed to do that. So what have we learned from it? The boxes are expensive, and I'm looking at the boxes. Had I picked them myself, I may have gone for something a little bit more colourful and flamboyant, but they do work. You have to keep copying the leaflets, and you have to keep looking at them every day, and you have to make time in your day to deal with things as a circle time or a show and tell, or to go and get a book that you can read at story time, or after school fill in the CPOMS forms. But it is absolutely so worth it. The whole school community have completely embraced it, and we'll feel very grateful that everybody has, because I think at last we have found what we were looking for, to give everybody their voice. And so moving forward, next in a couple of weeks, we've got a whole school circle time organised, and the school parliament are going to lead that. And the question will be, what do you think about the I Wish My Teacher Knew box? And are there any changes they think we should make, so that we're forever reviewing it and moving forward? And I'll get back to you as to what the outcome is. But thank you very much for listening.